You know, I was just thinking as we was listening to the song, I think we need to ask Brian for some more cowbell.
I need more
It's
cowbell.
not it's not enough. It's not enough.
I feel a
Hi,
need. I feel a need. And the only thing that can satisfy it is more cowbell.
more cowbell. Speaking of cowbells, I am here tonight with my buddies, David and Jamie. Um, how are you guys doing?
Good. This is a really good episode.
Oh,
Had fun.
well, it was
I mean,
interesting. It was
it was a great episode. I was a
It was
little bit bummed
captivating
out.
TV. There is no
not
question.
not predictable. It's not what anybody
Yeah.
would have predicted.
Yeah, I was a
but-
little bummed out at the end for obvious reasons.
But
I
there
lost
was a
my
lot
winner's
of like,
pick, but
oh my, shocking things.
yeah,
But we are tallying the votes, and if you haven't guessed it, we're here to talk about The Amazing Race. And this was the leg 9. Is that where we're at?
Episode 9, leg 9.
Mhm,
Yep.
mhm.
And this one is called "I'm Not a Big Fan of Olives." And let's just get it out there. You guys like olives?
I do. I
I'm
enjoy
not a
olives.
big fan, despite my Italian heritage. My grandmother
Okay.
would be very angry when I would eat olives when I was younger.
I love olives of all sorts, of all brines, of all bitterness, I guess. And so I felt like anyway, we'll get to it, but this was a good one.
Grandma used to say to me, Christy, she used to say, "You like olives, you just don't know it."
Well, there might be something to that, because I'm sure we all have something that we did not like as a kid, but
For
when
sure.
we got older, we decided, you know what, that's not so bad.
Mhm, mhm.
Like I loved
Like
black
Jack
olives when I
Daniels,
was-
for instance.
When I was a
Not
kid-
the best on a kid's palate. No.
when I was a kid, I liked black olives, but not green olives. And then now I like both. See? So like it just kind of tempers off, right? Like I
Yeah.
couldn't have been at 20 years old and probably had an old fashioned. I would have thought that tasted gross. But
Yeah.
you know what? It's my favorite drink now.
When I was a kid,
You
I
like them smoked?
hated green peppers, but now I grow them every year because I like them
Yeah.
so much.
Oh, a little off tangent. Have you ever done Hatch or the New Mexico peppers?
No.
Okay, so we did New Mexico peppers this year, and for the most part, they grew really well. They're a big long one, so not as round, but they taste like green peppers. They give it that
Mhm.
quality while also giving it just a little bit of heat. It's our new favorite thing.
I'm
It's our new
intrigued.
favorite thing.
I will be looking into it.
Because now you'd be like 1 pepper versus 2. It has lots of applications.
Yeah.
New Mexico peppers. Okay,
Got it.
but I guess we can get to the
We
race.
expect the New Mexico Pepper Company to be our sponsorship. Thank you.
Listen, seeds are awesome.
We're cheap too. We can be bought really. My honor is for sale, very cheap. The other two I'll have to convince, but
Well, it depends. Like honestly, it depends. But I did write down the times that they left this
Yes.
pit stop, because I
I
just
caught
wanted
a
to see what-
couple, but not
I
all of
wanted
them.
to see what the spread was again. So I'm like stopping and rewinding stuff because I wanted to get those
You got
times.
it.
So I think when we left last leg, didn't we say there was like a 90-minute gap? That wasn't
Yep.
very long. Or between the first couple of teams, I guess maybe that's what it was. This
Yeah.
one total time was 4 hours and 45
Mhm.
minutes difference from first and last. And
Really?
we had it didn't seem like it should be that long, right?
Yep. But we had the first one was at what,
2:07
2:07, and the last one was 6:50 a.m.
Yep. And so I thought that was interesting, but immediately we find out that they're headed to the airport because they are going to
And immediately
Athens,
we
Greece.
find out it doesn't really matter
It
what
doesn't
time
matter,
they left.
but it gives us indications of
Yeah.
how they came in the previous
Yep.
leg. What that's the only reason that I really care, honestly.
Yeah.
You want, because they don't tell you when they come in what the time is. And this is the only way to know, oh, these guys were within 15 minutes, or oh, they made this look like this was close, but it was 20,
Yes.
they were 20
Mhm.
minutes difference. That sort of thing. So, but I guess I didn't realize from last episode that there was a 40-minute gap between Chelsea and Joseph. They tried to make it look closer than that. I mean, case in point, right? That's anyway, so they're going to Athens. They all get to the airport and they have already decided, they're talking amongst themselves, and they've already decided that Joseph and Adam are gone, and they're all sad, and Taylor's
Yes,
sad because that's her
yes.
best friend, and
Mhm.
inside and outside of the game. I mean, when
Mhm,
have you
mhm.
ever seen people who've dated then break up and be best friends? I don't know.
And
They're
like the new
I don't
boyfriend not
know.
having a problem with it.
right.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I am
unique.
so impressed with their emotional, like their EQ, right? It's so high. Good for them.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, but
um,
honestly, if you have somebody like Joseph in your life, like even if you're like, you know what, like I don't want to be romantically involved, but like how do you like
he's
no one would want to lose that energy like in your life if you
I
had
mean,
that
maybe you
person.
wouldn't want to deal with it every day, but there
Yeah,
would be a day where you might need that,
you
you
got it.
know?
Yep.
No, and she really is a magnetic person. I mean, when she was talking to the olive lady, she was just like totally drawing her in, and the olive lady
Yeah.
was captivated by her. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, she just has that it. I don't know what it
She
is. She's
does.
just very magnetic, and
She does. That's why they
It's the
look like such
pageantry, man. She's a profesh.
yeah.
but I think she just has that personality too. Do you
Mhm.
know what I mean? To match. I don't know that it's just a presentation situation, But maybe you can't do pageantry unless you have that kind of,
Well, what didn't she
character.
say at one point? Like I mean, I don't know if it's changed since then, but like during Big Brother, she said one of her like life aspirations and goals was to get hired by E Entertainment,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that would suit her well. So,
Like, oh, absolutely. When she said it was like, that would be a
Mhm.
good job for you. But anyway, so in Kyland, I wonder if her and Joseph kind of both being kind of very outgoing like that, if that did a disservice, like, maybe because her and Kyland are different. And sometimes they say like opposites attract, right?
yeah.
I mean,
Well, and I think even though she might be very, magnetic in her own way, she still has like a low volume tone about things. She's not hyper at all. Like there's no like really high energy, goofy thing that's going on all the time. It's not to say she can't get goofy.
But she's like this, even though
Yeah.
she's quiet about
Sharp.
it, her
Yeah.
brain is going like
Yeah.
that. So the two of them together, maybe it was a lot. I don't know.
Well,
but yeah, they're good
I
peoples.
told our groundskeeper yesterday when speaking about the two of them.
It was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to the groundskeeper.
Day before yesterday. Yeah.
Day before yesterday.
It feels as if maybe Taylor was in a situation where she was in a relationship with somebody who had was a little bit more heavy on the boyish charm. And she wanted to go to somebody who was a little bit more like a man, man level charm. That's what I'm getting. I mean, as far as like the physical part of the relationship goes, because I'm sorry, like spiritually, socially, her and Joseph are a match.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. Not like I have a PhD in relationships or anything like that.
But I love them being best friends. That seems
I do too.
I mean, that's awesome, right?
They're good. I mean, especially if you're racing against each other with your current boyfriend and your ex-boyfriend, and it can still work. This isn't just like regular life. This is a race for $1 million, and everyone's still being nice to each other. Come on.
Well,
it is new era stuff. I mean, if it was 15 years ago, they'd be killing each other.
Maybe.
Oh, Joseph says it when they get to because we'll get there. Because they get to Athens and they have to immediately get to this like other hill that looks upon the Acropolis. And then right, and when they get there, that's when they're all stopped again, and now we got to do the W turn. And this is what they were talking about right here. So Joseph and Adam immediately have this issue where Joseph cannot make the decision, and he says to Adam something to the effect of like,
I'm too close to these people.
No, he does say something about this is something about livelihood, or this is the this is a gig for me, or this is something, right?
No, he said something like, "This is real for me, and these
Yeah,
are people I care about, and I can't
yeah,
decide."
I'm too close to.
He said, "I'm too close to it. There's
Mhm.
no
Okay.
way."
Well, and I was thinking, like, again, it's the fandom and all of the things. Yeah, he understands.
And
Like
I
Adam,
get that, like, emotionally, like, I do completely understand that that's gotta be really difficult, but also everybody else is in that position too.
they are. Well,
You know?
Adam's not. Adam's not. That's the point
Right.
of their
Adam
team.
isn't, Paige isn't, but I
Right.
mean, like, every team is
But
you
who
know
does
the
Izzy
other people.
really have a connection with? I mean,
Right.
that she would cut any of them.
Who?
Izzy,
Chelsea. So would Chelsea.
right?
I think Chelsea would be a higher likelihood of that. Izzy is actually friends with Joseph and Adam. That's why when they got U-turned, when they got that at the very beginning by Jag and Jazz, that's why they picked Rubina's and her sister, because they said we have
They
to give
didn't
our
wanna-
girls a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
I do think Izzy's playing the most cutthroat game out of any team. That team is playing. I mean, when she ditched Jack and Chelsea
Oh, let's hang
and
back.
like
let's hang-
intentionally
No,
let them get lost, I went,
but
wow.
smart.
they clearly had already talked about that, because Paige was like, yeah. Like
Mhm.
they were both
Yeah.
in the same mindset. Let them go off, because we can find our way.
Yeah, don't follow them or have them
Yeah.
follow us. Yeah.
Because let's just give some distance. They might be going the right way, but we don't have to help them if they,
Mhm.
so yeah, so they get there, they have to do this double U-turn, and everyone has such a hard time. And I think the way that Joseph handled it, I think it is absolutely a cop out, and some people could get pissed off at that. But I think because all the other teams are in the same boat, they're like, dude, totally get it.
Right.
Because
Well, it turned out to be the exact right. It was actually excellent gameplay.
it
Mhm.
was, and they were trying to figure it out. So I didn't know. I thought they would force it to be the tiebreaker to actually be broken, the tie to be broken. Do you know what I mean?
I
But
thought
what
it was
ends-
that was a great twist.
that was a
Oh,
great
I
twist.
agree. That
Um,
if there was a tie, both were going.
Mm,
So we get everyone votes. Everyone has to pick two teams. So it's not like everyone picks a team and then the top two are the W turns, right? Which
Yeah.
I think they've done it that way sometimes.
Yes, but I haven't seen it before where they are pick two and then the tie part. That feels like that was totally new.
Super interesting.
Because that's how we got a triple, which is not something we've received.
Right,
before.
because the one team had the most, they were one, and then they had to vote on the second team. Now,
but
I need to ask a question.
And it was interesting too, since we have gamers, like people that, like Big Brother and so on, their brain is they're gonna go through this and find a way to make it work in their favor. So rather than just vote for the top two teams that are the hardest, they were going, okay, how do we burn a vote? How do we, there was some actual like contemplation on what is going to be the most beneficial for
who do I
us.
want to hurt their game? Who do I want to protect?
That's perfect. That's perfect that you said that, because I found myself thinking when that was happening, would this have been nearly as compelling if it wasn't all gamers that we knew and had some insight into how they thought and their strategy? I think that's what made it. In other words, I'll be interested to see if Jack and Cindy thought the vote was as compelling as we thought it was.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're not Big Brother fans.
You're right.
So
you're right. We're like heated.
We're like, oh my God, the game is afoot.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Interesting, right?
And they're all together. They're not all together very often, right?
Okay, so every team besides Tucker and Eric voted for Tucker and Eric, except because they couldn't vote for themselves, except for Chelsea and Jack. Explain to me why Chelsea and I know they're friends. She's friends with Tucker, but seriously, he's in the the lead, and like why?
Because I don't think Chelsea and Jack really think they're competing for first place at this point. They're just happy to still be around.
And so they take a shot at Jag and Jazz. Okay, fine. And the other shot was Taylor and Kylan, and Taylor and Kylan was only because they thought they could get ahead of them that way.
Well, and Chelsea's excuse was, well, because I voted Tucker off of Big Brother. Like it
So?
was me. Okay, but I feel like maybe you're just using that as an excuse. So, and I'm sitting here thinking too, like, why are you not putting, like, Jag and Jazz makes sense? Why aren't you putting Tucker and Eric? Like, these are
Yeah.
the two that you need to move out of the way, especially when you keep coming this close to last place.
And it's so easy because everybody needs them out of the way, right?
Yeah, everyone's
other
gonna go,
team is-
oh, that makes sense, total sense. I think, I kind of think it was a personal thing against Taylor and Kylan.
So weird.
Yeah, I feel like it was a personal thing, and that
Is she spicy with Taylor?
I don't know all of the rumors, but I think there's a little bit of a it doesn't make any sense that you're gonna save Tucker when they are 4 hours ahead of everybody else.
Or does she have a thing for Kylan, or did she have a thing with Kylan?
I don't think she ever had a thing with him. No.
I have to say that I thought I found myself, and it's now official. I said this 2 weeks ago when we broadcast. I am low key absolutely rooting for Jack and Chelsea to stay in the game. I don't think they're going to win, but they're like my feel good team of the year.
Really?
They should have gone home 2 weeks ago. They can't find their way out of a paper bag.
Jeez Louise.
Every single week, I'm like,
are so broken.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, every single week I'm like, okay, bye.
It's like genetic.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, I don't really care if they go. I
started out pretty high with her and her dad on the game, but it's like
it's the whole, seriously, you cannot be this bad at directions, both of you. Like, that part of their brain must be genetically broken for both of them. You know?
Well, and it's so funny because last week they got the directions and they said the problem is that we get directions and then halfway going through the directions we change our mind and we don't follow the directions.
Right.
And then they did it again on this because those women gave them the directions and said you need to go all the way up to here, and at some point they're like, oh, let's go this way, but they said to go this way, and let's go this way. They did it again. Like, don't trust your instincts. They're terrible.
Horrible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, I that doesn't make sense to me. So Tucker and Eric get 4 votes, so that's not surprising.
No.
And they're not surprised at it either.
No.
Frankly. They know.
No, I mean, they knew if there was going to be a U-turn like that they were going to be. If it wasn't done by order of whoever gets there first, and it's like that. I mean, come on, it's got to be them. And then Taylor and Kylan and Jag and Jazz tie 3 each. They do the revote. And then that was where we got to see some interesting strategic talk. Because yes, for the very first time ever in Amazing Race, I mean, essentially it was a triple U-turn.
Yeah, it was.
And so that's the first one.
It wasn't essentially, it was a triple U-turn is what it ended up being.
Well, yes, because they didn't break the tie. So they called it a double U-turn, but it wasn't. It was a triple, you know?
Yeah. And because of this triple, it created a lot more social dynamic than I thought was going to happen. And lo and behold, the thing that we knew was going to come back up, which was Eric misunderstanding what he heard Kylan and Taylor talking about episodes ago.
Oh yeah, like 3 ago, right? When
they had come in with this.
When Chelsea was bashing into the wall.
A gentleman's agreement.
I don't think he misunderstood that.
No,
she absolutely was ranking on them for picking the girls.
That's not what
she said. No, that's
though.
not what they were saying. He heard them say something about a gentleman's agreement and that they were gunning for the guys, and they weren't gunning for the guys at all.
No, what she said was that the boys had an arrangement to go for the girls.
No,
that's not what she said either.
She didn't say. She said
it was Kylan who said, "I think they have a gentleman's agreement," when she was talking about Eric and Tucker and Jag and Jazz.
Right,
and that's
right. They have an agreement to throw the girls off. That's exactly what he was saying.
But that's all that they said. They weren't like, we're going to come after them. Eric made the assumption, dude, I think they might be coming after us.
Well, and the way she carried on about it, that was
and I don't even know.
That was a reasonable supposition.
But did he say, I think they have a gentleman, or like but it was like, this is what it was appearing to them because they were already talking as they were walking.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's messed up. Why are the men U-turning the women? Which was what happened.
And
that
then they
looked-
said, I think they have a gentleman's agreement. But never were Kylan and
They
Taylor
didn't say,
saying, we're
"This
going to
is
go
the-
after them,
they
and this
didn't
is
say,
the
"This
plan
is a-
now."
Right,
Yeah,
but when
this is
she
fact,
got
and we're
all
going after 'em.
salty in front of everybody about it, it would be an absolute
Right, but
good
that's
logical jump to go, we're in trouble with her.
Absolutely, because if the roles were reversed, and it would had been girls' teams picking on the boys,
it would have been
um,
noticed. I mean, it would have
yes,
been
it would
talked
have been
about.
noticed. And would he have gotten upset because someone, would a girl have gotten upset because they?
But the
did
funny
that-
part
yeah,
is,
come
we
on.
watched that episode. They didn't target them because they were girls. They
No,
targeted.
they
No.
didn't. It just from
here's-
the optics look.
There's all the things that we saw, but let's block this off in the way that they communicated it happening. Eric overheard Kylan and Taylor while they were walking in that
Sure.
episode going, I think they have a gentleman's agreement. And that was about all that was said. Neither Taylor or Kylan, as they were walking under that staircase, said, well, let's go after them. Let's target them. Anything. He
No.
just overheard a tiny tidbit of their conversation. There was a crowd of people around them.
Right.
He barely heard anything,
Right.
but he took that
And
one moment.
then he started getting all. He had a long time there waiting
right.
for Tucker.
But what you're leaving out is the subsequent thing when she sat in front of everybody with the host and talked about how wrong it was. and
No, I'm
she
not
was-
leaving
and
that
she was
out.
fired
I'm
up.
not leaving that out because we are not there yet. Because
Okay.
Eric and Tucker said that, oh, well, we knew you guys were gunning for us, and that's why we're doing this, and that's why we're voting this way. And then Taylor was like, that's not what happened. And that's when she went off about it.
No,
She
no,
didn't
no.
say anything
You have to go
about
back
it to
like
them.
3 episodes when they
She didn't
did
say
the
anything
U-turn.
to them.
Yes, she said
No, she
something.
didn't. She said it to Kylan, and there was no one else around. We heard her say that,
No,
but
no,
she
no.
did not say
She
it to
said
anyone
it in
else.
front of the group, and at the beginning or the end of an episode when everyone was together.
Hmm.
And they all heard her say it.
I do not.
I do
will
not recall that
I
happening.
don't recall that either.
All right, I'll send you the clip later.
Okay,
Okay.
find it. I'm
Do
not. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I was thinking the same thing as Jamie. I'm like,
No,
that didn't
it's
happen, that didn't happen.
possible that I'm misremembering, and she said it only to the
maybe it
host,
did.
and no one was there. That could be the only thing I'm wrong about.
Oh,
The only
I think
two
when she got-
times-
when they got to the mat that day,
Yeah, but she
And they-
definitely.
she said it to Phil. But again, what can they
Not
do
to the other
target
players,
them?
yeah.
What can they do to target them? It's we're coming after the guys. They haven't been in first or second. Well, did they have second place last time?
Well, here's a
No.
news flash, Eric and Tucker. When you were the first 4 times in the row and the second all the
You're
other times,
everyone's
everyone's
trying-
going to come
targeting
after
you,
you.
yes.
It
Although-
doesn't
Everyone's
matter.
targeting you.
Although truly, it doesn't matter because it was the right game move.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
the end of the
100%.
day, voting for them so you'd have the triple
100%.
U-turn was absolutely the smart
Yeah.
move.
I just
But-
they didn't need to say
As
it to
evidenced by the
her.
fact that they're now in
Is it-
second place.
But in all of this, because this is where I was going. This was the important note because it's going to fall back on Taylor again. I'm claiming innocence with Taylor and her comments about the boys and their assumption of what was going on. That being said, she made a big deal about it. She was emotionally distraught about the girls' teams getting cut off. But what was the second team they picked?
Izzy. That's what
That's-
Izzy said. Yeah.
And,
Izzy's like,
and
That
Paige
girl's
called it
team.
out. Paige called it out. She goes,
oh yeah.
she just went crazy about
Yeah.
the girls
It's
getting
targeting
picked
the
on,
girls,
and then they
she
chose
targets
us.
the only the only all-female team left.
Although-
It didn't go. I'm like, come on, Taylor. Like, you should have at least been. You should have been on top of yourself enough to go. Well, I can't vote for them now
Right.
But
because
you know
I
that
just
was,
said
you
that.
know that was a
Self-aware.
burn vote. They didn't think that
Yes.
Izzy and
that-
Paige. That it's just like the other burn vote.
But they could
who
have
got the
done
other
a burn vote. They could have done a burn vote on Chelsea and Jack and not have pinned the only all
But-
girls team
well,
after.
Chelsea and Jack
Steve.
already had a burn vote on them.
Yeah, they already had a burn vote on them. So maybe
Oh,
that,
from the two of them.
yeah, and that was from Joseph and Adam. So maybe
And
Taylor
and Joseph and Adams came out and said, one we're voting for because you're great. The other
Yes.
we're voting for it's a burn
Because
vote. And then
nobody's gonna
Chelsea
vote for
still
you.
got
We
butthurt
don't-
over it.
Yes, she did. I think
Nobody wants to
yes,
be called the burn vote. I mean,
but I
come
think
on.
that's what Taylor was doing too. I just wish she would have said that. I wish they
Yes,
would have said,
yes.
like,
It
listen,
was like
I
it
know I
didn't
just
look
said
it
the
Well,
didn't
thing
but
look
I
that's
good.
said,
but see, so
and
she
I am
did
not targeting
exactly
you,
what
Izzy.
Jag did. She made a game move, and it looked bad. It's exactly what happened
Well, and
I don't
that's what was
with
it
Jag
was
and Jack
funny
when
because
they weren't targeting the girls. The girls
no,
just happened to be the teams that they ended up
yeah,
picking.
but it was humorous nonetheless because one, you know, well, it caught you getting tangled up in your own convictions, Taylor. But then also it was great because it lent itself to many an Izzy facial expression.
I'll tell you who's growing on me though is Paige.
Paige
She's
is so wonderful. I
she's
love her.
super smart and quietly super smart.
Hmm.
yeah, she's
I'm
great.
And then
well. I'm going to
she
tell you.
drops little kernels of truth about herself. Like she said, I was never in a sorority because they probably wouldn't have had me.
Yeah, they wouldn't have happened.
You know, but I mean,
Well,
it was. But she doesn't
But
say it like bitter. She just says it
no,
matter of
just
fact.
it's fact. It's fact.
well,
Yeah.
this would be a good time. I wanted to. I shared this. There's two things I'm going to share with you tonight. But the first one I'm going to share with you is
You're president
a
of your
social.
sorority?
A social, yeah. Could you imagine?
Unless it was a goth
Listen, if you
sorority.
were the president of a sorority, I would want to join that sorority.
Well, it's
okay.
she is the president of the Duran Duran fan club, but
There you go.
Mm.
One could hope to have that
her
sort
name
of
is Rio
luxury.
and she dances. Forget it.
Okay, so Paige posted this before the episode, which is interesting because it's like you find out that they didn't maybe show some of the things that she thought that they might show.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, she says one thing that Izzy and I both struggled with on the race was admitting when we had reached our physical limit and needed support. We were both so worried about being the weak link that it was hard for either of us to ask for help. Izzy took a fall, leaving the Zizkov television tower in Prague and hurt her knees bad. When we got home from the race, her doctor described it as whiplash in both knees. She was precarious on her feet from leg 2 onwards.
Wow.
I tried to pick up the slack and protect her legs
Wow.
by pulling the plow in Kutna and carrying the net in Dubrovnik. Both left me stiff and aching, and then I took a pretty painful hit in the sheet pin. We were hurting, but still fussing over helping each other, both trying so hard to be the hero that the other did not want to admit that they needed. Tonight you'll see us in Athens, and hopefully you won't see the pain, but I think the context helps. Tonight you're going to see Izzy being the hero I didn't want to admit I needed. Watching back on this race, I am so proud of our team. We were so much better than the sum of our parts. So all that to say, enjoy the show tonight, enjoy the drama and the spectacle and the fights and the food in my teeth. And I hope that you will watch tonight celebrating every single step Izzy takes on those little whiplash knees. She is my hero.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Isn't that so
That
sweet?
is so nice. Well, I'm just wondering, I didn't know that they're not
She
showing
didn't seem
them.
to be. She didn't
No.
seem to be struggling walking. I can tell she's not running. They're not running when they can. They don't.
But like they're still doing fine.
Yeah, but I would never have guessed that she hurt her
I wouldn't have
knees.
either. Oh wow.
And then she follows it up at the end of once the episode is aired, she follows it up and says, "Now I can say it. This is about that F-ass boulder. I gassed out like I had never in my life. I couldn't raise my arms anymore. I was pushing with my head. Izzy pushed that boulder at least a quarter of a mile uphill with no help from me whatsoever. On her porcelain knees. She's incredible." There you go.
Nice.
Isn't that the
Is
sweetest
she
thing?
because you know your partner's hurting, and so you take the pain so that they can rest theirs. Oh.
Yeah, I just thought it was, and it mirrored everything really well with Joseph and Adam's experience last week. You know, when Adam's blood sugar kept dropping,
Yes.
and Joseph was doing everything he could to take care of him.
Yeah.
And good partnership.
You know what? That's another good thing about just this cast is because they are already on social media. We already see them. We know them. You care so much, so you care about who they care about. So,
Yeah.
Our groundskeeper shares with us a nice comment, and he writes, "I wish everyone had a Paige," and he's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That is an absolute true statement.
No, you know what? We should all strive to be the page.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
look at that. Look at that. There it is.
But
It's oddly similar to be the change you want to see.
I mean, if you
But be the page is cuter.
like, yeah, if you could be the page, then you might get a page too.
I love it.
Okay, so they get to this detour, and at some point, Joseph and Adam are supposed to have a penalty, right?
Yes.
Am I dumb that I missed the penalty? What
They
was the
got one
penalty?
vote. They got one vote on the U-turn.
Oh, that was it.
That's all they got.
I thought that was like the first part of the penalty. That was the entirety.
No, he
of
said
the
that's your
penalty?
penalty. Yep, that's it.
I heard him say, "Well, as a vote, you're gonna get one vote," but I still expected something else to happen.
Right? Yep, nope, that was it. That was it. A little shocking, right? I was like,
Those
really?
sneaky, you know what's, because we
Mhm.
already said last week that we were like, "Oh, was this supposed to be a non-elimination?" Because there haven't been any
No,
this
they
year.
didn't
but
want to get rid of those boys.
Don't want to get rid of them.
They
they're
knew the
so
gold they have.
goddamn lovable.
They
So
are.
then they give them really not a penalty at all.
Pretty much no.
Well, they gave him a vote.
Yeah,
That
just
was
one.
the time, but I guess
Is that how
But
many
it-
votes did they end up getting total?
The one.
Just the one, right?
But it occurs
Just the
to
penalty
me
vote?
Just the
that
penalty
the
vote.
three top teams could have made a decision real quickly to align and sent a lower team and say, well, we don't know who they're going to vote for, but we know it won't be us. We won't all both go.
Yeah, but none of them wanted to take the risk
Yeah.
that one of the top three would be safe.
Right.
But here's the thing: if you came in last and had this penalty vote, chances are that was the only vote you were going to get anyway. Because why would it just doesn't make any sense?
It was like, we have to do something. A penalty vote.
I call BS. That's why I didn't think that was the only penalty.
Mhm.
I thought
Yeah,
that was going
it.
to be in addition to. I honestly thought that they were going to have to do both things as the penalty as well. So
I
like,
thought
oh
they
my-
were automatically going to have
That's
the
what I
U-turn.
thought.
Mhm.
And so I thought, oh, that's kind of a cool penalty because all these other ones, then we had the triple and then all the things. I don't know. That's super lame. Okay, never mind then. I didn't miss it.
No, I feel like you put the nail on the head there with that.
Okay, good.
And we
I'm
were
glad-
questioning production and their.
I was literally wondering if I should even break that up. I thought maybe someone else, because I really thought I had missed it. I'm like, one of them's going to bring up the penalty.
No,
but we
you
hadn't
you
talked
didn't
about
miss it. It
All
was
right, never
just
mind.
that pointless.
Okay, so then let's get into the detour here. We have music in the air and olives everywhere.
Yes.
Did you guys
So-
find it funny that none of the teams that were U-turned chose music in the air? They all chose the olives.
I did.
The only
Because-
three teams that did the music were the teams that had to.
How much of do they get? They get to read the entire instructions for both before they choose, right? Or no? They
Yeah, I
choose
mean,
just
whatever's on
based
the card.
name, or do they just base it on the name?
Well, that was like
I always
later
felt like
when they said
just
who's
based
the
it on the
alpha.
name, but
When they said who's the alpha for the
Mhm.
alphabet one, it was designed to trick them. It was designed to get them to put the most muscular player up.
mhm.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
that
And then it
makes
turned out to
sense.
be a mental challenge, which I
Okay,
thought was
so-
smart.
Music in the air. You would know that's a musical one. Why would Izzy and Paige not pick that?
I don't know. That's what didn't make sense.
Okay, that does make
And that for any of those three teams would have guaranteed them first place because it was a much faster challenge.
so.
Well,
they must,
okay.
So they must.
They
have
must
some
have
description.
something that they have to have something on it that
Yeah, because they wouldn't want to do it
describes-
because of the running.
and yeah, the carrying and the running. Yes.
So they wouldn't want to do that. So that makes sense. So they must have some sort of, maybe they have little icons that tells them like what's going
Well,
to
okay.
be involved. I don't
You
know.
know when
Running.
nobody remembered to grab the stand in the basket?
Yeah.
And then all of them were like, wait, it says make sure you grab the stand and the basket, all three items. Maybe that is on the with the clue.
Oh, and
Okay.
I take it
maybe.
back. Joseph chose that one
Yeah, because
because they didn't do the olives.
Right. Joseph and Adam with
Okay,
the
yes.
music.
So
Yeah.
I am incorrect.
And that look was such an easy thing to do
Yeah, people were just throwing their money at him.
because all you had to do was act silly.
Okay, and also, did anybody else like scream at the TV like I did when the one guy was like, "Oh, do a handstand and we'll give you all 10." And he was like, "It just so happens that
I
Yeah.
can do a handstand and walk on my hands for.
No, he can't just do a handstand. He can walk across the plaza.
Frankly, I
His
was
hands.
shocked that when they said the Greek alphabet, he goes, "Oh, I know the Greek alphabet. I know it both uppercase and lowercase." And,
No,
you know.
we found his Achilles heel.
Yep.
But
we sure did.
is he with their Greek Achilles?
I
Anyway,
like it. I like your moves.
okay. But that one seemed pretty easy. I think that as long as you didn't have to double back and do that trip twice. If you read the clue, the walking to get there would be the hardest part, but then you're done.
Yeah, I feel like I would have
It
liked
was
that one
pretty
better.
quick once you're there. And then
Even though I enjoy an olive, I think that the olive one looked way more difficult.
Oh, it did.
Now I do like olives pretty extended, and I like a lot of different kinds of olives. I think I could have done that one pretty easily, because I kept going like you're getting the wrong one. Like they kept getting.
You
the
knew,
one
you noticed before we got the.
Yes.
Oh my God! Can we
But it was
please
the
talk
same ones they
about
kept.
that gentleman who was there to give them their thumbs up and
Oh.
ticket? Was he not milking it for
Oh, it
every
was
second?
so awesome.
He, oh my
Understood
God,
the assignment. He showed
He
up.
had one job and he knocked it out of
crushed
the
it.
park.
Like seriously.
He was
was
so
just
much
like,
better than
when
the
he would
freaking
take
chicken last week.
when he took the card out, he'd be
Yes.
like, the card was like slowly and bam. Every
And
single
it
second.
was this for all of them. You knew when they'd gotten it correct because he was going to say congratulations because he did the same move each time. So at least once he did that, he did the same. He's not slowing anybody down.
Yep.
Except with Kylan, he finally went, "Yes, finally."
Yeah.
Well, because they needed to get going. So yeah, so Izzy and Paige and Jack and Chelsea picked that one right on, and yeah, they do okay too. But it's Taylor and Kylan that really
Kylan
struggle
really struggled it.
with
Yeah.
the olives.
Mhm.
And at that point, maybe you can't really figure out which ones you're not sure of.
Yeah, because they're not telling you. Now we're at the point of the game. You notice, like at the beginning of the game, they'll say, "Nope, this is wrong. Yep, this is
Like
right."
when they rolled the hamburger
Yes.
hamburger meat.
But
stick
now we're in the
things
part
last
where
week.
they don't tell you what is incorrect, and you have to go back and assume that you have to fix everything.
Yeah, but it seemed like they understood that Kylan was making the mistake. So how did they know
Yeah.
that?
I don't. Maybe because we knew for sure that these were right, but we were uncertain about these ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe because it does seem that it was the same three that they kept getting all messed up.
All of them, because there's one
The
that's
like
a little,
the black
little
wrinkly ones.
drier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of them is a little drier.
Except Jack and Chelsea, they just.
Yeah.
They really
that
did.
crap.
They
really
did
did.
a good job.
And it was funny.
And
Not
so did
the
Jack
way-
and
didn't Paige and Izzy get it on the first try too? And Jag and his
Jag
brother.
and Jazz just guessed through half of them.
Oh, and they got it on their first. They just
Mhm.
got it, and boom, they were in and out of there. They had done both
So fast.
detours, and
Yep.
Izzy and Paige weren't even at the Oliveira yet.
Yep. Yeah, they flew. It was,
It was- they were done, and I think Tucker and Eric were both done with both
They did
before
good,
Izzy
yep.
got there too. It's like they had to do both sides. I mean, they clearly detoured the right people
yeah,
to try
no kidding.
to give other teams a fighting chance.
Mhm.
Honestly,
Oh, and that's what you're
Um,
saying. This, like, it's been rare where we've had a group of people going out together the first half close in time. It's because the lead that Tucker and Eric have had. I mean, Jag and Jazz have had plenty of first and second places,
Yeah.
but the leads that Tucker and Eric have had have been massive.
yes, yeah, they're sitting by the pool already, and people are still at their first
Mhm.
like detour or whatever. It's crazy. But yeah, that was really interesting to see kind of how those were coming in, and I wish we would add times. I think it was edited linear in that moment that those guys were gone. It was because that was really interesting. Jack and Chelsea got theirs on the second attempt, but they were the I think the only team that when they walked in there, somebody said something about "hope you like olives," and they both were like, "Oh, I love them."
Mhm.
Yep.
And they were the last team in there, but they made up for lost time.
Oh, yes, they did. But do you think that there is some sort of like genetic correlation that at some point we'll go into ancestry.com and they'll be
Like
able to figure it out
cilantro?
where like people who are horrible at directions love
Love
olives.
olives. Maybe.
Come to think of it, my grandmother wasn't really good with directions.
No? See, I love olives and
She ate
I'm
olives like
vegan,
most
so I
people
might
eat
be the
grapes.
anomaly. But maybe both are genetic traits. Who knows? So after they get out of this area, this is where they have to go to the Hills of Muses to
The
roll a
Hills of
boulder,
Muses.
which is very funny because at one point, Jess, I think, asked, is it syphilis?
Yeah,
See,
that was
No,
funny.
No,
it is
syphilis.
not.
Definitely
It's-
not syphilis.
No, but he said, "Is it syphilis?" And I said, "No,
Mm-mm.
Sisyphus. Sisyphus is his
Sisyphus,
name.
yeah, that's right.
Yes, Sisyphus is his name. With the crappiest eternity of all times of rolling the boulder up the
A tough
hill
one.
forever and ever and ever. And this was, thank God, one of those like bouncy blow up things. I'm not saying that makes it light, but at least it wasn't an actual boulder. But this was kind of this I could see where this would get tiring.
Well, you
'cause
you could tell. I mean, it was heavy enough because even like when you see like Joseph when he was pushing it, like he was
It's
looking
he- it's
exhausted.
it's having
know?
your arms over your head. I think.
I'm not a fan of that.
Because Survivor has plenty of ones where you have to have your arms over your head. Those are hard
Yep.
because it's just not a.
It's
It's
Your
harder
breathing.
with it pushing down on you.
Mhm.
It's got to be
it's
hard on
not-
your lower back.
It's
Jamie.
just not a
Yeah.
natural position. Human beings don't spend a lot of time with their arms up.
So,
in
so
the
Jamie,
air.
I would
Right.
handle that challenge. You'll have to handle the jumping.
Yeah,
off the
it wouldn't
building.
be me. But you know what? Oddly enough, I would probably be amazing at it if I could like push it with my back and go backwards.
That's what I was thinking.
I could probably do
when
that.
they started trading off. Like, okay, so
Yeah, but it
Paige
wasn't.
says-
It wasn't. It was like rough. I don't think it would have
Mhm.
rolled right.
The directions were all over. Yeah.
Well, so okay, so if like Paige and Izzy, we know they were in pain per Paige's Instagram, right?
Yep.
So if Paige had been there, kind of guiding it on the side, kind of like pushing that way when she needed to, and like you know what I mean, and Izzy could have turned around and
like Joseph did.
pushed backwards with his back.
Mhm.
That could have been maybe a winning strategy. That way you could trade off and on to rest.
Get a little
Maybe.
rest in there.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Now
I
I
would have
do.
been resting with my head against it, just like I gotta breathe. I
I'm
gotta
gonna
breathe.
die.
I gotta,
I did want to point something out that I thought was really funny, and it's about Jack and Chelsea. One, when she started yelling, "There's a turtle! You're gonna run over a turtle!" I'm like, is it like a real turtle, or is there like a little statue of a turtle?
No, I'm sure
I
that was
need,
a turtle.
I need to know what's going on.
They never showed the turtle.
No,
they didn't. Maybe he ran over it.
So there was that part, and then my other thing about Jack and Chelsea in this challenge was like Jack was all over the place with that boulder, and immediately I was picturing Chelsea trying to get down that hill on her scooter, and then I'm like, and they can never find which way they're going. This is like,
Yeah.
We're looking at it as like they're terrible at directions, like it's some sort of like larger picture. We need to get all the way down to the macro on
Like
these
they
guys.
have no peripheral vision. Maybe they're just like
Sort of like all over the place.
interesting.
It was a little. It
is
was
it that
it was a
time,
little
sir?
weird.
It is.
All right, we're gonna stop for a brief moment to have this groovy ad break. All right, no big deal. Just
No
pouring
biggie.
water down myself. No big deal. Sometimes I get it in my mouth. Anyway, so
That's what she said.
this exactly. This sucked. This stone path that they had to find and go up. And everyone seemed to not like it. But Sisyphus was happy to have a break for a couple hours while they were pushing that up there. But at this point, they run. He points them on their way to get to their next clue box, and this is where they hit the roadblock of the Greek alphabet. So I have to ask you guys: did either of you ever study the Greek alphabet? And any kind? Okay, in those classes that they made us take in middle school, right?
No. I rushed a fraternity and I had to learn it for the fraternity.
Jamie,
Yeah.
why am I not surprised that
Not shocked, 0%.
not shocked?
You read like someone who's been hazed a time
Oh
or
my
two,
gosh.
David.
Anyway,
Delta Sigs.
and so did you spend all 4 years into this?
No.
fraternity?
I rushed as a junior.
Oh, so you didn't do it. So you had that experience and you thought, oh, what the heck?
Yeah,
I'll
I
give it
always
a
wanted
go.
to do it, and I had the opportunity, and I was able to get out of most of the hazing because I was
Okay.
old enough to buy booze for the underage people.
Okay.
So
You know what? Then I am going to only give half judgment on this one, because if you had been the eager, freshman trying to, maybe I might have judged you a little harsher. You just wanted to have all the experiences. Good for you. All right. So, I did do the Greek, and I very weirdly remember a lot of the letters, but I don't think that we studied the lowercase.
no, that's what he said when Phil
Yeah.
introduced it.
Now, I will say many of them still look like
Similar.
yeah, still look similar. A
Some
couple
of
are
them do.
different. A couple of them are different, but did you think that this was a hard challenge? Either of you? What do you guys think?
Yeah. Oh,
I thought it was
definitely.
hard. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm not saying I don't think it would have taken me 10 times.
I think Chelsea was
But
freaking amazing, though.
Yeah, she killed it, man.
Okay, so let's talk about that. They get there. Jag and Jas are there immediately, the first ones. Then followed by Joseph and
Right.
Adam.
But
Tucker and
Jag
Eric,
took what, 4 or 5 tries, didn't he?
Paige.
Yeah. Yeah. He was
Yes,
back a couple
yes,
times.
yes. Paige. I'm saying how they arrived there, because then we
Yeah.
can talk about as they were leaving. Paige and Izzy were there 4th, Chelsea and Jack were there 5th, and Taylor and Kylan were the last ones to arrive at this roadblock. But it's really interesting to see that Chelsea and her dad were there, the 5th team to arrive, but they ended up getting to the pit stop 2nd. Like
Mhm.
her getting in there and doing
Yep.
that in one attempt.
And she was like,
Rock
I can do
star.
this. She was,
Rock star.
but you know what was lucky for them? Because they said, "Who's the alpha?" And he said, "Honey, you do this one." So it's
Mhm.
like they had an instinct, because he never even hesitated. They didn't talk about it, and she said, "Okay."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a
Now-
little more information than we know.
Was she in a sorority? I wonder.
No, she didn't say she was. Taylor just said
She
Taylor
just
was.
said her reasoning was, in my seat in the Big Brother, I did very well in the
Well,
memory.
Yeah, she said I
memos.
won every memory comp.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't know. Who's the alpha? So it's Jag, Joseph, Tucker, Paige, Chelsea, and Taylor are the ones that do it. So maybe they did think it was the big guys, because Adam didn't do it. Though they did, to be fair, they did have to run back and forth quite
It
a
wasn't
bit
that far,
if
though.
they didn't get it. But still, that would, I mean, you're trying to remember in between, and I don't know.
It's enough of a run when you've already been like
yeah.
totally
Yeah, but the
gassed.
reality is, if you were really concentrating, you could walk it once or twice.
Be like Chelsea, get it in the first 10.
You know what
if
I'm
want,
saying?
then
You don't
gotta go
need to
back.
run if you're
Yeah.
accurate.
And did Chelsea even? No, she didn't even know that it was in jumbled order, did she? She just went there, studied,
Right.
went, and she did it.
Well, I didn't think okay, but Chelsea does do like she gets hired to do speeches. She's she's a public speaker, so she probably does have some fairly good memorization
Like
skills.
decent, yeah.
Even past what we saw in Big Brother. Like this is probably right in where her like talent really is.
So yeah, it's just everybody's there. They're all attempting. Some have less, some have more. Paige takes her 5 attempts, but she gets it. Taylor takes her 3, which really helps them. Joseph, it takes him 7 attempts, which is good that he was doing it because after pushing that boulder, I don't think Adam's sugar probably would have taken running back and forth
Yeah.
7
Yeah.
times.
Mhm.
I mean, assuming that their knowledge is kind of similar.
He must have some pretty serious diabetes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, well, he's got the pumps on his arms.
Right. I
and
mean,
stuff,
it's not a mild case when you're
Right.
that worried about it
Mhm.
all the time.
Yeah, it means that he's not.
Well, he
really
has
been
had
able to feel-
he was diagnosed as a child, so I mean, it is
Right, it's
like
type
it's the
1,
most
not type
serious
2.
version you can have. Yeah.
Right.
Right. But I mean,
Or like my dad says, my dad is type 2,
hmm
and he says he calls type 1 real diabetes
yeah, well, yeah.
because
Yeah.
he
You're
says
born
it's so much more serious.
For
Oh
sure.
yeah. Yeah, it's sad for him to be the age he's at and having it this long and not be able to have a better control over it or prediction on it. You know what I mean? So that you get ahead of it.
Well, I think
That's
when you
that's
put
really
yourself in this sort of environment, I
This,
mean,
yeah, demanding physical.
physically
Sure.
demanding, not knowing where your next food is coming from, not
Sure.
knowing what they're going to give you. They have to
They
give him
have
orange
to.
juice or
Yeah.
something. If I mean, they're
Yes.
not going to let him die.
Right. No.
Right.
But after maybe you don't know what to expect on day
Well,
one.
he
but
and he was eating like
you've
a
seen the show
granola bar
before.
or something when
Yeah.
they were pushing that boulder. He was eating something.
Now, you guys have watched
just-
more than me. Does medical ever show up on this show like they show up on Survivor?
I don't recall, and I mean, I haven't watched every single
Not
season.
to my recollection.
I don't recall any like shots where we see medic. I know there's been people that have been injured on it plenty of times.
Yeah.
Apparently, Izzy.
Yes.
Well, yes, like that.
And then a couple
Um,
seasons ago, there were some twins that they didn't know each other existed until they were adults.
Oh
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
she hurt her legs or her knees or something really bad as well.
Mm-hmm. It's all that jumping out of airplanes. Oh, no wonder she didn't jump out of the airplane. Well, she's super afraid of heights, but she wouldn't have been able to probably.
Yeah, I don't think she would have been able to, just because I think that might be her biggest fear.
Well, yes, but also it's a good thing she didn't because. But as they get into the pit stop, Jag and Jess are there. Then Jack and Chelsea, because what a comeback. Followed by Joseph and Adam. Also, what a comeback! You're 6th place and get up to 3rd. Good on
Yeah.
them. Just with that one vote against them, no real penalty, and that affects. Izzy and Paige come in 4th. Taylor and Kylan come in 5th, and after 10 attempts with the Greek alphabet, Tucker and Eric are going home.
They made that
And
seem closer than I think it was.
The
Between-
race to the
between
place
the last
when
two
they left
teams.
the car.
No,
Yeah.
when Tucker got it and he ran out,
Mhm.
Eric said to him, they just left 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So he was probably keeping time.
But it
Don't
was
you think?
because they got stuck in traffic. And so they
Yes.
said, screw it, let's just get out and run.
That was a bad mistake, I think.
And I think
Don't
it
you
might have been a problem for them. I think
That
they
might
might
have
not have. I don't know that they necessarily would have still beat them.
They probably could have done it if they did it with like less than a mile left, but they probably
And
did it too early.
I think if they
Probably.
landed their feet on that sidewalk in front of it at the same time, it would have been a foot race and then made.
Yes. Yeah.
But
And at the time that they're deciding to get out and walk, we know that they're both stuck in traffic. Did
mhm.
either of you think Kylan and Taylor, they're looking at the GPS?
Oh, I
See
thought
where
for
it's
sure.
at.
I thought for sure you were going to see them run by.
I did too. Yeah.
Or I thought they were going to jump out too, and they were going to because
Right,
it looked
and
like
that's-
it. Now in Europe,
Yep.
blocks are really weird in Europe, right? They're not as
Long.
they're not as completely laid out like they are in the States. So it looked like it was just down and kind of like catty corner the other way. Maybe a block and a half, 2 blocks, 2.5 blocks. At that point, from where it looked like Kylan, and I mean,
Yeah.
it might not have been, but they looked to be fairly close.
But I
don't
mean,
know
it was enough.
if I
It was
within a
enough
couple
time.
blocks stuck in
Enough
traffic.
time that by the time Tucker and Eric got there, they did get everybody cleared off that mat and out of the shot.
Right.
So,
That's my point.
yeah.
You don't know
Everyone
if they were
else
just
was
standing
gone.
off to the side or.
So I'm guessing it was
Right.
probably at least a 10-minute difference.
You think of that much? Well,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, probably once they got
I
out.
think we got to give it up for Jag and Jack. That the first team in the history of Amazing Race who got U-turned who came in first.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
pretty damn impressive.
they got U-turn and still came in
Came in
first. That
first.
is pretty. That is pretty good. Yeah, no, we've got 5 teams left. So what we've got like this week, this next week, and then the final week, or was
Yeah.
next week the final?
I don't think next week's the final. We're gonna have the Thanksgiving week episode, which
Okay.
might be the penultimate, but
I
because
So we got
usually
at
it's 3
least 2
teams at the
more.
end, right? It's almost
Yes.
always 3 teams. So
Yeah.
yeah, we've
Yes.
got. Mhm. Yeah,
So,
I would
okay,
say we have
all right.
one next week, and then we're in our final. I'm
At
sure
the
somebody
ve-
listening
at the
actually
least.
knows when the
At the
finale
least.
is.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, there's
Well,
a bunch of people listening
you
going,
know what?
these morons, do they even watch the show?
you know what? I bet you it'll be before Christmas. I don't know. What are dates anymore? I don't even know what,
What is
time is-
time?
what is time? COVID broke time.
Well, it
Broke
has to
True.
end before January 4th because that's when Traders starts. So
Mhm.
Exactly. When they got to the mat, I just want to say that woman that was there dressed as Athena, she
Yeah.
was extremely excited that Athena.
Yeah, she was pumped.
She
It was her big break. It was her big break.
Yeah.
Finally,
Come on,
she's
see.
made it.
And
She
then,
made it, Mom.
lots of times you see when they go to pit stops, you see the person on the mat saying it over and over and over again to the people.
Yes,
Each time they
mhm.
walk up, they didn't do that for her. They only gave her one.
maybe she
For
said it
one-
the one time and they're like, okay, enough.
Oh,
Maybe she
relax.
won maybe she won like a contest on the
Or
yogurt
maybe-
or something.
Maybe she did the first one. She was like, "No, I do one take. It's perfect. That is all."
That's all you need. I like it.
Again. But yeah,
But Tucker,
that-
listen, I gotta say, Tucker was. You could tell he was really upset with himself. Like he had
Yes.
some very teary.
But you know what?
face.
For both of them, for their relationship, I am glad it was
Mm-hmm.
Tucker.
Yeah, I agree. I know exactly
Because
where you're
he's
coming from on
super
that.
he's super competitive.
Mhm.
He's there competing against people that
He's
he
the
already has
famous one.
and he has rivalries with some of these people. He
Mhm.
sees them, he has interactions with them. If it had been roles reversed and that had been Eric, I think Tucker might have been a little bit salty about it
Maybe.
because he would have thought like I should have
At
done
least
it.
off camera, he'd have been salty.
Yeah, so I'm glad that if they had to go out, Tucker had been the one, not the one to screw up, the one who was in control.
Yep.
I like
Yep.
that better. Anyway, so yeah,
So
Goodbye.
that was that.
Goodbye.
And we'd all suspected it. These guys are so out front all the time. They're gonna find something that they're gonna have the
All
one
the
thing
time.
that kills them, and they're gonna lose.
Yep. So who do we think is in trouble next week?
Jack and Chelsea.
Jack and Chelsea and Izzy and Paige are just kind of playing like neck and neck at this point.
Well, Jack and Chelsea
And
are gonna
based
have a
on
lead
based
at
on
leaving.
Paige's Instagram post, that didn't sound like a winner's post.
Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe.
I mean, I'm
I
so
mean,
proud of our team and how
I
they
mean, okay, like,
overperformed. It doesn't
here's
sound
the
like
thing.
they won.
Well, it depends if she gives things, every week.
Yeah. Now, I will say that I don't believe in this world with these competitors that Izzy and Paige are going to be the first place winners of Amazing Race. That's not to say that they couldn't come in third or second place by some lucky happenstance. But I feel like it's a toss up between them and Chelsea and Jack to go home next week. But
Except that Chelsea and Jack, them leaving in second place from the pit stop, will that help them? Will they get a
it depends on how much,
No, they'll get
how much
lost.
time.
They'll get
Because
lost,
they'll-
or
they'll
Chelsea
have
will
an
have to
advantage.
pee or something.
They'll
during
be
Just
the-
like-
depends on the
but then-
time.
They'll get lost. Yeah.
How much
but-
time
but
do you
I'll
have
be
to find your
interested-
directions?
I'll be interested next week to see the time differences when they're leaving, so I can see what that would be like. But so you guys think Taylor and Kylan will rebound over Izzy and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chelsea?
Yep.
If for no other reason that we now know Izzy can't run.
They don't have
that's
injured
true.
knees. They can haul. They're fast.
Very
runners.
true. Very true. Very true. But I mean, they say it all. like when Taylor and Kylan are coming up on the mat, the euphoria everyone had.
Yes.
Oh,
because
yeah.
not because they dislike Tucker. And you know what I mean? I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think it just gave all of them some sort of insight of, oh my gosh, our biggest competitors are gone. Maybe I could
Yeah.
have a. Oh, thank you.
Thanks,
We have
Brian,
3
the
episodes.
professional, the
Okay,
professional
I love it.
amongst.
Sometimes I feel like they have done like 2-hour season finales
Yeah.
where they start with
Mhm.
4 and they eliminate in the last hour, it's just the last 3.
Right.
I feel like, so I didn't know if they could have done a double episode. Sometimes it's weirdly they just would
Well, that
CBS
still
just
puts
wants
us
to
like
burn out their episodes.
mid-December, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle of December.
Second Thursday in December. Yes.
Right.
Which will give them their holiday break before the new year, and then Traders coming in for because it's going to be on
And
Peacock.
Traders is gonna rock this year.
But Traders is also going to be airing. I mean, it's on Peacock, but NBC is airing it.
Are they?
They've done that before. I feel like
Well,
they
if they
are.
air it, they're gonna have to they're gonna have to bleep Rappaport so much.
Yeah,
censors-
they're gonna have to have a permanent like me
every time he speaks. Because I don't know if he can speak without dropping an F-bomb. Honestly,
I don't believe he can. I feel
I don't
like
think
this
he
is
can.
a fact without even knowing
But
it.
I can absolutely respect his level of anger sometimes. You know what I mean? I've been there. So yeah, feel like a lot of people thought, oh, maybe we do have a chance. Maybe if they don't think they have a chance at one, maybe they're thinking with Eric and Tucker gone, they could have a chance at a second place or third place, making it to the finale.
I think that's more than anything. I think that's the belief that we can we all have a chance to get into second or third place now.
But I really think we might end up at the end with Jag Jass, Joseph and Adam and Taylor and Kylan, the three teams.
It feels like it's the most likely, and that is why, as my half point replacement team.
Well, I didn't want to rub salt in the wound.
I am picking
production. Apparently, has decided to rub salt in Jamie's wound.
I mean, honestly, by the time they had won their third leg with like a 4-hour lead, I knew this would inevitably end with them having like one
being the super target. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not that surprised.
Or just, yeah.
But Joseph and Adam are my replacement, my half point replacement team. Since Taylor and Kylan have already been picked, and Jag and Jazz are obviously going to win it.
Well, we'll see.
Well, we don't know. I mean, I would have said Tucker was obviously going to win it before this week.
Anything can happen because those two boys between them are like.
What is the biggest struggle that they've had so far?
Yeah, I mean, they've been super skilled at everything.
But no, I mean, Jag and Jazz.
Getting a taxi was hard.
Yes, that sucked. Yeah, but what is like in a challenge? What's the hardest that they've had? Because even in like the dancing, they still managed to get through it after a couple tries.
I mean,
like I can't think of anything where they're like, "Oh, this is really putting us in danger." If they weren't in first place, they were in second.
They love jumping out of the airplane.
Mm-hmm. They liked the heights.
They didn't mind that. Yeah, they eating something weird, maybe.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if they weren't first, they were second.
That's because the things that they did today were not super physical, other than the pushing the boulder up the thing. Yeah. But we've seen episodes where like everything's physical. It's like, dang, give them a break.
Yes.
So maybe we are coming up to some sort of weird eating challenge, and maybe that's where they'll be like, oh my god, I can't do it.
Oh, I have to say this episode of the 2 seasons I've watched, and I'm not holding myself out as any sort of expert on this show, but I will tell you, this was as compelling an episode of reality TV, Big Brother, Survivor, as I've seen.
Yeah, it was
even AU, because it started out with them talking and the voting. And then
the strategy,
the 3 teams that were dominant were now screwed, and there was 4 challenges, and they were a combination of mental and physical. I just thought it was a perfect episode of reality TV. Production should get a golf clap. Probst should watch this
Like
because that's how reality TV should be.
that
Yeah, it was a
hard
good one.
turn of like them, so many of them smoking both detours so quickly,
Yeah.
but then
God.
also one of those teams getting stuck on another
Mm-hmm.
challenge, just so you couldn't have predicted that. Like I couldn't have
Mm-mm.
predicted the one or the other.
No. No, I'm just
So it's
saying it
pretty
was.
good.
I sat down to watch it because I watched it tonight because I was behind because I got back from the cruise.
I
And
always like watching it on Thursdays, but
and
right before we
and,
record.
and I have to tell you, I was captivated. I almost burned my pork chop.
All of this for one life of a turtle.
Well, sometimes the pork chop
That
is
was a
the
tie-in
best-
to
the
Welcome to
best meat.
Dairy, the whole turtle.
Oh,
Yes.
there you
Turtles
go.
everywhere this time of year, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess we could say that. I was going to ask, thinking about it earlier today. Like, I think we are, just for anyone watching who's looking for other shows to watch or wondering what we're watching. I think all three of us are saying we're 3 for 3 on both Dairy and the Talamasca, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, guys, check those out if you're not. But and I mean, I'm sure there's other things that we should be watching that you probably want to tell us that we could be watching. And you could do that too. You could go over to Facebook at
Mhm.
Tally the Votes, join our little Facebook group, and share your little ideas about all the things. And
Or
I
your big
guarantee-
ideas.
Yeah, well, your big ideas. Sorry, no idea too small. But I guarantee if there's something you're watching,
You can tell one of the two of us did a couple years of telemarketing and the other didn't.
Exactly. And then you can reach us there. You could send us an email.
You
Those
could.
things still work, and we have an email, and it is
We have
Tally-
a retro email, a
we have
throwback
it's
email
retro.
address.
Vintage.
It's ironic. It's a little
vintage.
hipster. But it's not Tally the Votes. It's Tally the Feedback at yahoo.com, because that's where you're going to give your feedback. Tally the Feedback at yahoo.com. And also we'd love for you to like and subscribe here on our YouTube channel, so
Yes,
that you can
please.
get all the notifications of all the awesome shows we do, because as we said earlier, Traitors is coming up in the new year, and it's going to be a good one.
And so is
Um,
AU Survivor,
Mhm.
like
That's
in
right, it'll be-
February or March.
It'll be the post JLP season, the first post.
Ooh,
Gannett-
that's gonna
the
be
Gannett
a-
season.
That's a toe I'm gonna have to dip in slowly.
I mean, I'm not.
I
gonna lie,
love
I'm a
me
little
some
excited.
JLP.
I
We're gonna
do.
see
I
it.
do too. But I would have been sad if we would never have seen David again. I would have been sad.
I'm going to predict that I'm going to hate David as the new host.
I don't
I'm just
care.
going to go ahead and
I-
predict that right
I'm going
now.
to project that I don't hate him at all, not even a little bit. But
Well, you'd
I-
watch him on mute. Let's be honest.
maybe. But it's the twinkle. That twinkle gets me. Anyway, but JLP, I don't think that's the last we'll see him. We're gonna see him on something. He's gonna bounce back because he is so ding dang likable. So I feel like it's gonna be the best of both worlds. We're gonna get some new project from JLP, and we're gonna get David.
And
So,
and I know I was gone for a second. You were talking about other shows. Did
Yep.
we decide that we're doing Interview with a Vampire for sure this year?
Yes.
Okay, so we're definitely Tally the
Listen.
Votes will be leaving reality TV and
and
doing
talk about
dramatic
scripted
TV for the
scripted
first
drama.
time ever.
It's gonna be so great, guys.
Oh, and
We're
it's just going to
going
be
from-
awesome.
We're
It's gonna
going from
be
the non-script to the script.
It's gonna be sexy gay vampires. We're gonna have like strutting on stage. There's gonna be camp. There's gonna be like
And that's just
catfighting.
David.
It's gonna be fantastic. So if you've never watched that, we all highly suggest you check out Interview with the Vampire, get caught up,
All the cool
and
kids
then
are
join
doing
us
And
it.
for the
Talamasca is a
and
good
it's-
primer. I'm really
because
starting
the
to
new-
enjoy it.
It's fantastic. The new Vampire series is not a continuation of Interview with the Vampire. This is going to be the Vampire Lestat. So just not to confuse the kids. That's how that works. But yeah, it's going to be pretty great.
All right,
And
I'm super excited.
yeah, me too. At this time, we would also like to say that you can find us our audio downloads at all the places that you find podcasts. You can find us on the Jay and Jack feed, the Whole Enchilada feed, as well as the Tally the Votes feed. And we want to thank Jay and Jack Productions for helping sponsor our podcast and get it out there.
And Colleen for all she does in the background.
She's pretty dang great. I'm not
she
I'm
is.
not even gonna lie. And so thank you, Colleen. But also we would like to thank we're still at 4, right?
Yep.
Keep waiting for number 5. 4 very special patrons of Jay and Jack. That is Maggie, Joanne, Ed, and Eckhart, because I'm a first name basis with these folks, right? I'm not gonna, just this is how they are. And how could you be that 5th one that we say your name? Make us say your name. Come on. You go to patreon.com/Jay and Jack and give $1 or $2 or 50 or whatever. All
Empty
right,
your
so
pockets. Just throw the change
I
on
mean,
the
it's
table.
I've thought about doing
like-
it for
like
years,
it.
just so Jack at the end of our credits
Shut
go
the hell
and
up."
got.
Again, make him say your name. Just for funsies. Yeah, I mean, you could always do it and then undo it just so they can say your name the one time, record it, and that would be it forever. See? Anyway, so that's it, guys. We'll be here next week to talk about these final 5 teams and see if one of us has to repick again. But I
And
think
next week is going to be
we
an
might do it.
interesting schedule because we are falling on Thanksgiving.
Oh shoot! I didn't even think of that. Yes. Maybe
So
we
it'll
won't be here on
likely be a
Thursday.
Friday or Saturday episode for us.
Oh yeah.
Unless you guys want to go late on Wednesday, we'll talk about it. So watch the Tally the Votes Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll
We'll-
get your
we'll-
updates.
It'll be
I'll
hard to do
holla- I'll
Wednesday.
holla at you.
It'll be hard to do Wednesday for you though, because you got to watch
Yep.
Survivor and then
Yep.
do the podcast. And
Yeah.
Well, that's going to depend if Colleen can get her computer in time set up because she'll be in New York and podcasting from her parents.
Oh
house.
wow. So you
okay,
guys,
so if you don't record Survivor, we'll definitely do next Wednesday.
Then we might be jumping on for
let me
Amazing
know
Race.
as soon as you know so that I can I can be on it too. So
Will
I
do.
can do anything.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, that's it, I guess, unless anybody has anything else they want to.
Well, no, I just
That's
think
it?
we should probably say flat out, if you're watching Survivor, join Jamie, our very own Jamie, on the on the Survivor podcast on the Jay and Jack Network.
Sorry, Jamie. Yeah,
It's good stuff. Sometimes they just pull out a spreadsheet and I kind of go cold on that, but
No,
the
it's
rest of it's
fine.
awesome.
It doesn't matter.
Listen,
It's
I'm
great,
going
and-
to tell you the podcast in general has been spicier than this season. So come
Yeah,
on
well,
over.
it's not hard.
It's true. And Jamie always has good thoughts on Survivor.
I try to be
I
a
think-
good thought
I think
person.
so. I think so. And and Colleen does as well, and sometimes Jack does. So
Oh God, if we give you an enemy to be Jizz God, that'd be bad. That was fun
And
right there.
sold.
I got nothing left. We gotta
All
go.
See you later, guys.
Bye.